So here, what I said yesterday, the very important one, the rules of a manual tester, the duties of a tester in any company from the beginning, how we are going to be working on it. So basically, assume it. So you are got a job. Once you got a job, any one of it, suppose Amaresh got that selected to a company. So here, now it is okay. Fine. Fine. Maybe like there is a network issue. Okay. It is blurring. You have to intimate me whenever your voice is not clear, not understanding anything. So here we have to focus on this. The MRH got selected for the Infosys, for example. So once he got selected for this Infosys, the joining date will be like 12th of June. So now here, so on this 12th date, the Infosys HR will communicate with the person who got selected, and he was collected this the details, the basic information, the address and the mail IDs, phone number, Aadhaar card, any passport, all these details are going to be collected. So once they collected, and then for the day on the 12th, so here the HR said that, so within a short period of time or 1 week, the project manager will make a call to you and he will provide the project details. So which project you are going to be assigned it. So on the complete week, you got waited up to this Friday. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 1 week. You are not get any update. So you are not receiving any mail. So any call. So after that, again, the person will communicate with the HR and then just capture the details or take the details of the phone number of the project manager. Then we will make a call to the project manager. So till now, I'm not assigned to the any project. Can you help me on this? Can you check into this details? Anything like that. So here the project manager will now give that the proper update. So he said that you got assigned to some X project. So then whenever your details are giving to that project, there coming to this, here also we have a project manager and we have a test manager. We'll call it as team manager or test manager related to the testing side. So this test manager will make a call to you and asking about your skill set. So what is the tools you come across, the experience and anything you have. So you need to focusing on that. Okay. So the details you need to find out it. So here sometimes right, some people ask the skill set, some people will take that the interview again. You have to give it. If this interview you performed well, they will take into the project. If you are not performed well, again this project manager will give some other project details. Your name should be forwarded to the other teams, other projects. So any vacancies are there, again they will pull back to you. So like this, it is going to be happening it. So in the company, once you got selected. So everything is went well. The interview goes fine. Now you are assigned to this project. So here this will be taking like 10 days or 12 days time. So this process just happened like that. You are assigned to your project now. So once you are assigned to your project, then now you have to introduce yourself to the project members, like team members. So we can introduce to entire team or we can introduce to only the testing team. So it depends on that again, the lead, the project, they're going to be taking it. So then once you are introducing the project, then after this, what happened? For example, on 26, they're going to be scheduling this, the KT session. So what is mean by KT? Knowledge transfer sessions. They're going to be giving this, sharing the knowledge of the project by scheduling the meeting like 1 hour like that. So maybe take 2 3 days, 3 hours, 4 hours. It depends on their time availability. So before that, you have to raise the request for the laptop or like this. So nowadays, like we are working from home, right? We need to raise a request for the laptop. For getting the laptop again, we need to took like 10 to 15 days. After receiving this laptop, then only they will start giving the KTs and everything. So you need to raise this access for your laptop, for the systems and the client machines, the database, whatever it may be. So we need to just capture it. We just took that one. So once they're going to be giving the KT, so they will give the time 2 3 days, and they're again asking for the reverse KT. So we have to give the KT again to the team members, whatever you understand it. So you just took 3 days, right? 2 3 days for understanding this project. So the same thing, we have to give this the reverse KT. So this is the initial thing. So here, once you are assigned to the project, this process is going to be happened at any company. This is the same process, same thing. So we are going to be working on it. Up to here, you have any questions, any queries you can ask. Fine, right? So here we need to focus on this. Then next. So nowadays, the project implementation is going to be happen by using this agile methodology. So this will be call it as like agile model. So anyone is fine. So in agile model, how the project is going to be implemented. So here the project will be implemented like sprint wise. So for example, assume it, there is a project duration like 2 years. So this entire project duration will be divided into some sprints. Sprints are iterations. So we will discuss it in detail. So here the entire project duration will be divided into some sprints here. We have sprint 0, or this will be call it as like iteration. The duration of the sprint will be like 15 days, means 3 weeks. So here, like that, we have sprint 1. Every sprint, the duration will be like 3 weeks only, 15 working days, excluding the holidays. Like that, they divide this 2 years duration into sprints, like 20 sprints, 15 sprints. It depends on the duration, the project duration. So in each sprint, they are going to be decided to develop some functionalities, some user stories, some requirements. So 20 requirements need to be tested. Yeah, that's what I said. Sprint is just like a duration. So this entire time is divided into some sprints, iterations. Okay. So that is a time period. Just in the real time in agile terminology, we will call it as like a sprint. So the sprint duration, like simply we can say 15 days time. We need to develop some of the functionalities for the project. Some of the requirements for the customer, we need to develop it. So this is okay, right? Any confusion from anyone? So this is going to be happen through a tool called Jira tool. Everything will be able to see by using this tool. Again, you are asking, sprint is just like a duration. So the entire time is divided into some sprints, some iterations. So this training is divided into 2, 3 parts. Each part is call it as like one sprint. That's it. Say the duration will be like 60 days. You need to learn it. So this 60 days into divided into 3 parts. So each part will have 20 days. So this 20 days duration will be call it as one sprint or one cycle. So they're giving the names like that. There is no special meaning for the sprint. Okay. So this is a cycle one and cycle two again we have remaining. Then cycle three. So here each one will be call it as like one sprint. So this is sprint three. This is like sprint one like that. Cycle one, iteration one, all are same. But coming to this testing standards, these people will giving a name like a sprint. That's it. A sprint is just like a span of time. So like 15 days of span of time that need to be used for developing some of the functionalities for the project. Got it? Then here, so there are 20 user stories are there, 20 requirements. Again, sir, what is requirement? So here we already discussed about that. There is a Flipkart application. For the Flipkart, we require to build the cart. Cart is one user story or one requirement. So this card, they need to develop it. So that card will be giving this one of the user story. And we have another thing like more will be one user story. So here I'll show you an example. If you go with that Google Maps, coming to this, the Google Maps. So here, let you observe it. So there is a requirement here in the Google Map. Did you observe it? What is this plus and minus? What are these buttons? Yes. What are all these buttons? Yes. Zoom in and zoom out. For any project, they required one functionality like zoom in. They need to develop it, the zoom in functionality. So zoom in is one requirement. Zoom out is one requirement for the customer. So this is a customer. They are developing one map for the customer. So how this zoom in related requirement will be giving for the BA. The business analyst person is the responsible for deriving the information. The information they collected it. Once they collected, the business analyst person will provide that the detailed information to the team members, right? Now the user stories are given like this. I'll show you one user story. So it is very important one. So in my company, I'm sharing with this. This is a tool. In this tool, they're going to be providing it. See the title of this user story like map you zoom in. Now this is the acceptance criteria. So this is a description about this user story. The customer is expecting these three scenarios in their map. So what are the three? See here the giving, when and then. This is like a Algerian language. So these are the code. Given means the precondition. When is then the required action? We performed it. Then is the expected results. See here, the user is on the map. Whenever I am on the map, I want to tap on the zoom in button. So whenever I'm tapping on the zoom in button, the map will be zoomed in by level 1. So that is what they are expecting it. They are giving this one same. See, then the map view should zoom by +1. So like this, they are giving the user story. We have to read it and we need to understand it. So here the second one, that the user is on the map using the fingers. So by pinching it, so we are enlarging the image and we are going to be minimizing it, the mobile, right? So we maximize, say minimize by using two fingers. So on the touchpad here, we are going to be using it. That is what they're expecting it. So on the map, they're trying to expand it and try to minimize it like this by using two fingers. So this is the another scenario. And then the third one is like, so user is on the map. User has reached the maximum zoom level. The zoom in button is disabled. So whenever I am clicking on this, so see here, if I'm clicking on this, the maximum number of times, then the zoom in button is grayed out. Say we cannot do further zoom ins. We cannot perform any action. So this is what they are expecting in the map side. So now, once the developer is developed, we will test accordingly. So here they are giving this user story and they are not mentioned that how many times we need to click on it, what is the maximum zoom level. So how many times we can click on it, 10 times or 15 times like that. Then immediately we can send a mail to the business analyst. So what is the maximum zoom level like that? So like this, they are giving this user stories. So this is the one of the user story. So we'll get in the tool, the Jira tool. So like that, they decided to develop 20 user stories based on the team size again. So this 20, 30 is decided based on the team members. The team size, they are going to be decided how many need to be developed it. So like that, all the requirements of the project will be developed sprint by sprint. This year like 20, second sprint, they will go for 25 user stories. Again, it depends on the size of the user story. So this is an user story. The size here only they focus three scenarios. In one user story, they will have 20 also there. So if it is a big one, then the count will be reduced. If it is a small one, the user stories count will be increased it. So here, this is a way the development is going to be happened it. So in the real time, this is about that the agile methodology. So now where the testers role here, what the testers are doing it, how the work is going to be available. So in this 3 weeks, I will explain week by week what is the work we are going to be carried out. You got it right up to here. Any confusion from anyone? Now, so here basically so I'll explain that week wise. First week, so for example, it will be starting on Monday. Monday, what is going to be happen in the company means they're conducting a meeting called sprint planning meeting. This planning meeting is derived by or driven by the business analyst person. So in this meeting, all the people will involve here. So like the developers, the dev lead, and the developers. For everyone, there is a lead, test lead, the test manager, and the testers, the API team, the database team. So whoever is required for the project, every team member is going to be involved here. Now, the business analyst person will explain this user story. Along with this user story, there is a design document will be there. The document will looks like this, and he will show everything on that, the design document as well. So this is what the customer is expecting. This is what we are developing in this user story. And once he explain this, and he will ask that how many days are needed to develop this particular functionality, a particular requirement. So here, one of the user story like zoom in. For this zoom in, how many days we required it? The developer said 4 and the tester will said 3. What is this 4 and 3? We will call it as like a story points. We'll discuss this in detail again. Each story point is equals to 6 hours. So maximum in a day, we are working with 8 hours, right? And 2 hours are reduced for the meetings we are attending it. So in between that. So they are saying that, so 4 into 6, 24 hours for development and 18 hours for testing this particular functionality. Everything will be followed in a professional manner, systematic manner. So now this user story having this 8 story points. They will update in the tool. The story point will be like 8. Like that, it will explain this all the user stories, user story 1, user story 2, like 20 user stories. The business analyst person will explains to the all the team members. So what exactly customer is expecting it, and they will give the access to go through those user stories as well. So this is how they're going to be giving it. Now, this is the first day activity. They're conducting a meeting and they're explaining it. Then, now, second day. So, the Tuesday. So, what is the work we are going to be doing it? From Tuesday, what is coming to the tester point of view and discussing it. So, here, so everything is based on the tool, right? Tool having every option. Okay. You need to come to know later once you are understanding this. So there is a zoom in functionality. So here this is a user story. So in this user story, they're creating the task. Here the developer will create a developer task and the tester lead will create the tester's task. The first task is like analyze the requirement. So, and they created a task and this will be assigned to your name. Whenever you got assigned to your name, we are getting an email to our Outlook immediately. So today morning, I just logged into my system. I checked my mail. That is the first thing. So whenever I check this my mail, I got an mail. So this task is assigned. For every task also numbers will be there. For every user story also numbers will be there. This will be generated in the tool itself in the Jira tool. We are not creating it. Whenever I created a task, automatically the number should be generated. So like this. So this is how we are getting to know that you are assigned to a particular work, particular task in the manual testing side. So what is our first role? We have to analyze the requirements. That is the first duty of a tester in any company, rules of a manual tester. Sir, why we need to analyze it? So I already said that if you want to test any functionality, you have to thoroughly understand that what it is, how it is working like that. Then only we can perform testing in detail. So without having the knowledge, see, I don't know how many times I need to reach, I need to click on to get this button grayed out. What is the maximum zoom level? So without having this information, how can I test it? Suppose they said that only 5 times if you click on it, the button should be grayed out. But if I clicked on first time, for example, the button is grayed out, so it is a defect. So we have to click maximum 5 times. Whenever we click on 5 times, the button should be grayed out. So this is what we need to focus on it. So here we have to understand that. So this is how you are come to know that you are going to be assigning it to that. Now I just analyzing this document. Whenever I'm analyzing it, I may get some queries. What happened? I just come to know that what is the maximum zoom level. So I need to come to know that. So here for that, we have to maintain this RCN template, the requirement clarification note. In this template, we will put all our queries. We have to post our queries in this template. So there is a template like RCN template, the requirement clarification note. There we have to define it. So very important one. So the fields and everything it is going to be using in my company. That's what I'm sharing it. See here, the query sprint wise, in which sprint, what is the user story number, clarification required, status means. So initially we can say that it is like open. So we are not yet discussed. So here, once we discussed with the BA, then we have to update the status. When we are updating it, when we got the clarification, who provided it? The BA provided the clarification. What is the maximum zoom level? Like 8. Then this one will be closed. So now the query is resolved. I understand that, okay, this is the maximum zoom level will be like 8 like that. So we have to understand it. So this is the first duty. So of a tester. So then once we are analyzing it, then another task will be like test design. So this is also going to be provided every task and having this assigned to this, the testers. Here we have to understand that this need to be focused. Then the next thing. Now we are moving on to this, the test design. So once we are understanding it, we have to focus on that. We need to identify this, the scenarios. The scenarios and test cases. These are very important throughout our career. I'll discuss it like the scenarios and test cases. So what is meant by a scenario? The scenario will explain simply like what to test, what are the functionalities to be tested. And moving on to this, the test case will explain how to test it, the procedure. For example, there is a Gmail. in Gmail, I need to test the login. The login is working fine or not. So for that, what is the procedure we are following it? Just open the browser, enter the URL. Then here we have to enter the username. Then we have to enter the password. And we have to perform this. Click on sign in. So the manual testing is dead easy. These are the activities we are doing in the company. So here like that, for everything, whatever you tested, whatever you follow manually. For example, you are booking a ticket for a movie. What is the process? That process we need to document it. So likewise, we need to prepare it. How you are going to be tested this, the zoom in. And just to open the URL, I'm on the map view and I have to explain it and just click on the zoom in button. Then the map will be reflected. So like this. So the steps we need to define it, whatever we are going to be perform it. So how to send a mail? So for example, if you're sending a mail, all these things we need to define it for the beginning. So just I need to log into the Gmail. I have to click on compose button. So providing the receiver mail ID and enter this subject body, attaching the files. Finally, I'm clicking on the send button. So that steps we need to define in Excel file that will be call it as a test case. So I'll show you one example. Just focus on that. So the important one. So it's very simple. Again, here we need to follow set of rules, guidelines, some process need to be followed it. See for this, the zoom in or zoom out, anything. For example, so assume it, here we have to focus on this. So verify that map is zoomed by level 1 when user taps on the zoom in button. So these are the test case steps we need to write it. See, just enter the browser, open this, enter the username and password, home page will be displayed. Click on the map view button, map view page should be displayed. Click on zoom in button, the map will be reflected like zoom +1. So this is the steps I followed later. Once the developer develops it, I just open this URL and just navigate to the page where the map is there and just clicked on it. And now I'm testing it. I need to click on this, the zoom in button. Then the map is reflected. So it means this is working fine. So this test case, I will pass it. So again here, this passing the test cases, the tool itself. So we need to focusing on that. So we have to understand that this need to be focused. So we need to write this test cases and scenarios. Once we return this test cases need to be review it. So review need to be happened it. This review is going to be happen among the team members, our colleagues, and also the TL will also perform this peer reviews and TL reviews. Peer means among the colleagues, and then TL means so we have to focus on this, the test lead. If they said any requirement, any modification, we will update these test cases steps. These steps should understand by anyone, easily they can access it. By reading this user story, we have to understand this. See, user is on the map, taps on the zoom in button, the map is reflected by 1. The same thing only we are documenting it. So click on the map, user is on the map view, click on the zoom in button, so the map will be reflected by level 1. So we need to focus on this. So this is what we are going to be writing it. So this is a major part in the manual testing throughout our career. So we are doing that. Simply we are going to be writing this. So this is the first week activity in the sprint. So Tuesday, Wednesday, they are giving the time. So not only one user story, right? So up to Thursday, we have to complete this test case design and review. See, I am assigning to this the number of user stories. There are 20, right? So we have a 5 team members. So each one is going to be getting that 4 user stories. So I have to complete the test design, review, like all these things for the up to Thursday. So or Friday, the review is going to be taken place with the TL. Test lead review is going to be happen on this. The test cases are reviewed. This is the first week activity in the company. So understanding that, design it. Then here, after completion of the first week, second week, I just logged into the system. I don't have any work. I didn't get any mail. So they simply said that. So just go through the remaining user stories. There are 16 user stories, right? You have to read it. You need to go through it. That is the task they're going to be giving it from Monday. So on Friday, these test cases also need to be sent it to the business analyst. They need to review it. So here, meanwhile, Monday, Tuesday, I just go through it. On Tuesday, I got that BA approval. BA is going to be given the sign off. So here, once they're going to be giving the sign off, now we have to upload these test cases into the Jira tool. So we have a tool, right? I said I will explain the tool as well. We have to upload this, the test cases, whatever we written in. We will do copy paste over there. Otherwise, we can upload the entire sheet into the tool. There are options to provide it. So this is the second week we just started it, and then Wednesday, if anything, the developer develops. So already giving it right. There is a user story. Every task is there. The task need to be developer task need to be closed, and they are giving that work is completed. We have to close it. Even though I'm also close it. See, these are the tasks. So test review. The review is going to be performed. The final one is like test execution. So there are 18 hours for complete testing. This 18 hours is divided for the each and every task. For the first task, we are giving it like 10% of 18 hours, like 2 hours for review, then 6 hours for designing, then 1 hour for the review of these test cases for the TL, and then the remaining time 10 hours for the execution, bug reporting, retesting, and closing. They need to give that more time for that one. See, one person will do this design, the another person will provide this execution, some next person will do the execution. That is the reason they're asking to go through that all these remaining user stories to understand it. From third week or second week mid onwards, we will go for the test execution and finding the bugs, reporting the bugs. And third week also we are doing the same thing. So we have to find that. So execute the test cases, finding the bugs, reporting the defects to the developer. All these 20 user stories and development testing should be completed within this 15 days. So this is the activity we are doing it sprint by sprint, everything. If we have an experienced person that is also doing the same, if it is a fresher, it is also doing the same. But if it is a fresher, we are giving more user stories. We are assigning it like 6 user stories. If I'm experienced person, so having this 12 plus years of experience, I just having the team, I'm handling the team, I will manage the team, I will take one user story. Along with that, I will have some additional activities, team management, checking the status. If anyone having any queries, I need to connect with the BA, I need to connect with the team manager. So we cannot connect individually with the test lead. So multiple times, one representative will be there. This person will go through that and finding it like this. So here we have to go for the review. Once review is done, then we have to go for the text execution. We need to go for the test case execution. Then we have to finding the defects. So once we find the defects, we have to report the defects to the developer. And then here, once the developer is resolved, we need to perform this retesting. Then like this process will be continue until all the test cases are successfully passed and major reported defects should be resolved. These are the duties of a tester in any company. So second sprint started, again they will give some user stories. Same task will be created on every user story and assigned to the team members. We'll get to know that this is the work it is assigned to the tester. Then you have to start working on it. In this training, how we need to write these test cases, how we need to identify it, what are the techniques we need to follow it, so how we will document it like that. So we have to understand it clearly. So that I will take care of it going forward. So this is an implementation. I'll explain it practically so no one can provide this information. So this is my real-time project. This is the thing that is going to be giving it. So I'll also show you that how the tasks are created as well. Give me 1 minute time. See here, the real time. So the task will be like this. There is a user story. Everyone is able to view it or not. The screen is visible. Yes or no? So here you can see this. So these are the developer tasks. This is a developer task. See here the status of the user story. Once the development is completed, they will dev complete. While we are starting with the execution, you need to observe this statuses. See, these are the testers tasks. So see here, it is in my name. Execution with another name. This is my TL name. The review is going to be happen by this TL. So this is how it is. See, I just closed it. I will close all the tasks with my name, whatever it is there. And it is active means everyone can go through this. The text execution is in progress. Our user story status also come to know that in the tool. See, these are the IDs. If anyone asks, what are you doing today? I can simply say that I'm working on this 147960 ticket number. This is a task, it is assigned it, right? So I'm going to be assigning it. So once the developer is completing their task, they will move this user story to development complete and they will deploy it and they will inform to the testers. The testers will start their execution. They can move to new to active and they will place the dev completed to in testing. Now, if anyone go through the board, the Jira tool, they can understand that what is the work is going on, who is working on this user story, what is the status, they will come to know. In Agile, there is a meeting for every 24 hours. So they're getting the statuses. What are the things we are doing it, when it is going to be completed. So this is about that. So the real time things, testing, I'll show you, I'll share everything with you. You can easily get it, you can easily understand it, you can easily clear the interview as well. You don't need to fear about anything. So this is about that the rules of a manual tester. This is how the work is going to be assigned. Based on that, you need to work on it. Once your requirement analysis completed, you can close the task as well. I just said that whenever you are working, this will be turned into the active. Once it is closed, we have to close it and close the hours as well. I just took 22 hours to complete the analysis and just 6 hours for the execution, like designing it. So if you are working on it, you have to place this active. Once it is done, you can close it. If it is not completed, don't close it. You can keep it active only. If anyone is asking, yes, also what is the status of the design? So we can say that it is in progress. It will be completing in an hour or at the end of the day. Like that, we need to update it. So this is a tool where everyone is going to be having the access. They can able to see everyone's status of work. That is the reason they're using this Agile methodology. So they can easily track each and every work, the status, the stories, and the task assigned it like that. So need to be understood. And the below right, you're able to see this. These are the defects. We need to raise a defect and assign to the developer itself. You will get the developer name. In the starting, like Sunil Kumar is a developer. If you got a defect, you can raise it, we can assign it to the name. He will work on it, then he will close it. Once the defect will be closed, I will test it once again. If everything is working fine, then I will close this user story like testing completed. My task also need to be closed. This is what we need to perform it in the companies. So this is about that the rules. So whatever I have, I will share with you people. Just focus on it. So we cannot share our real computer, the office laptop. We don't have any access to share it. That is the reason I'm sharing the screenshots. So that's it for this today's class. If we have any queries, you can ask. So you got it right, how it is there in the company once you joined it. I'll also help you on the resume, the interview questions, how they're asking it. Your duty is just focusing on this subject, learn it, do hard work, complete the assignments. Any confusion, any queries, you can ask, I'll explain it, whatever the query it is. Fine, fine, Resma. Yes, Swati, Tejasri, Vilesh, Vikas, Mike, Monica, Mahesh, Reddy. Fine. So from tomorrow onwards, the link will be changing it. Please get registered soon. They will share the link, they will share the recordings on the daily basis. Varalakshmi, fine. Yeah, so if no queries, so we are good to close the session. Anything you can really ask, we will go accordingly. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll start with the first chapter, Need to focus on this. The testing definition, defects. Till now we discuss about defect. What is meant by defect? What is meant by a project? We'll discuss from the scratch each and everything. So everyone should easily understand with an example as well. Okay. So I'm focusing on this resume, interview questions, and the subject practical knowledge. Whatever is needed for getting a job, I'll help you. You need to put some efforts from your end, do some hard work. Will definitely get the job. Point. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.